Hello, everyone. I'm Sandra Bargman, the host of the Edge of Everyday podcast, streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms and right here at MaximizeU.life. The Edge of Everyday is an exploration of the edges we all face and grapple with in these challenging times, both personally and professionally. Through conversations and shared stories with friends and colleagues, it's my hope that we can begin to understand our edges. And what I mean by edges is those places where we are fearful, those places where we are resistant to change, those places where we must embrace growth and transformation. Real conversations with real people that spark provocative invitations to leap out of what's safe and to explore ways to push our boundaries. I brought my podcast to MaximizeU in October of 2023 and was absolutely thrilled to become a proud member of Team MaximizeU. At MaximizeU, we are dedicated to helping individuals and organizations reach their full potential and achieve lasting success. Our founders and our coaches bring decades of experience in education, leadership, and personal development to guide our clients on their journey of growth and transformation. That's why the Edge of Everyday podcast is such a perfect fit with MaximizeU. This company is rising quickly and has just added yet another feather in its cap. It has been named the best AI-powered personal growth platform in the US in 2025 by Evergreen Awards. This prestigious award recognizes the company's commitment to innovation, accessibility, and transformative impact in the field of personal and professional development. I felt it was high time to do a series of interviews and conversations in which we got to know the extraordinary members of Team MaximizeU. And today, we are speaking with one of the visionary co-founders and advisor of MaximizeU, Sal Celly. Sal Celly has had a 30 plus years of a highly accomplished technology, sales, and consulting career with Oracle, Infor, Dell, among others, and is an expert in identifying, analyzing, and executing on market opportunities across industry verticals and organizational stages. A successful entrepreneur, angel investor, and thought leader, having set up and mentored several business operations and leaders across industries and geographies. Sal is a sought-after speaker and mentor and has published various books, podcasts, and a video channel. Sal has an MBA from Dalhousie University and graduate studies from Cornell, MIT, and Stanford University, and resides in Austin, Texas. Sal is a certified Edgewalker coach and facilitator. Sal resides in Austin, Texas with his wife, Laura Celly, co-founder and CEO of MaximizeU. Sal is the proud father of Samira and Cyrus. Hello, Sal.
Hi, Sandra. So excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you on. It is a complete pleasure. And as I told Laura Celly, your wife and co-founder, I am truly a proud and excited team member of MaximizeU. Hashtag Team MaximizeU.
Well, we are proud to have you as part of the leadership team as well.
Thank you. A great honor and a joy. So let's dive in. You know, my favorite, I've asked you this in the past because I've had you on in the past, but you know, it's an ever evolving question, just like it's an ever evolving topic in our understanding of identity, both gender, personal, or the identity of a business or a corporation or a country. Answering this question can change all the time. So I ask you today, Sal, what identity do you lead with?
Yeah, great question. And my answer is consistent as last time. The identity I lead with is an enabler for organizations and individuals to maximize potential and transform. That's what I lead with.
Hmm. Yeah, you lead with a transformer. You are a transformer. And I see that in how, in your personal relationships, in your business relationships, I see that how you approach your faith, all that you do. You are curious and innovative in all that you do. Beautiful answer. What worlds do you walk between?
The worlds I walk between are that of an entrepreneur and a family member. And it's a difficult choice and a difficult pathway because you have to balance both sides and it's not easy. So I kind of have to walk between those two lines and I'm doing that. I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but you always have to do better.
Well, we're never going to be perfect, but I mean that's your philosophy on Maximize You. That there is no separation between home life and work life. And that's one of the power points, in my opinion, of Maximize You is that you have created this extraordinary AI platform that understands that there needs to be a balance between both, and that all of the offerings and the teachings and the wisdom that is found on Maximize You addresses that understanding, both business and home life, both business and education, both education and home life, all of those completely interwoven. Lovely. So, Sal, tell our eager listeners how your a brief description of your life and your passion for what you do and how that has translated into coming to Maximize You, creating Maximize You, getting the spark for it.
Yeah, great question. And as I'm sitting here at the A loft and I'm at the lobby and there's this person who's vacuuming the floor. So that's a
I don't
little
hear it. I don't
no,
hear
well,
it.
that's good. That's good. So that is part of the need for flexibility and adaptability because
Amen.
life is not going to be the way you want it, right?
Nope.
I thought I would sit here quietly with my coffee here and have a nice quiet conversation, but hey, we got to roll with it. And that's what I have always done. I have rolled with the punches. Okay.
Mm.
And you have to make lemonade from the lemons that you get. And I think over the years, I have done that and I'm continuing to do that. And the reason we created Maximize You is because people need an avenue and a community to be able to maximize their potential and get better, right?
Mm.
We all can get better. And at the end of the day, it's not about comparing ourselves with somebody else. Comparison kills contentment. It's
Mm.
about getting better and becoming a better version of yourself. And that's what led us to create, that's what led Laura and me to create Maximize You Life, as the name suggests. Maximize your potential. We all have a lot of potential. We are all uniquely made by God in His image. So why not get better and achieve your potential? Get out of your comfort zone and embrace your zone of possibility. And that's what we are doing. And I have always been fascinated by the technology applications and the application of technology and AI and all the new things that are coming out to achieve that. So that's what MaximizeU.life's about.
It's great. And you have worked both for corporations and been an entrepreneur throughout your life. So pulling the resources and the knowledge and the wisdom from both of those tracks, weaving that into knowing what corporations as well as entrepreneurs need. in their life. You reference God. I know that faith is and not necessarily the spiritual or not necessarily religion, but your spiritual life, your faith-filled life is an important weaving in through this business in how you lead. So talk to us about that. What does that mean to you? How is that woven into Maximize You?
It is foundational in everything we do because I'm of the firm opinion that if you don't have that grounding, you have nothing. It's like a deck of cards that will fall off with the slightest wind. But if you have that firm foundation of faith, and I'm not saying it has to be a particular kind of faith, whatever the faith is,
Hmm.
but you have trust in Him and you have trust in His plan and in His timeline and in His goals, you are freed from the burden of trying to control the outcome.
Oh,
And when you're freed from the burden of trying to control the outcome, you can focus on the inputs and not the output. The output is in his hands. So it is very, very important. Faith has always played a huge role in my life. And I am of the firm opinion that everybody should hold on to that and strengthen that because
mm,
that impacts all aspects of your life, at your work, at your home, and enables you to maximize that potential.
absolutely. You know, listeners, Sal and I met through a group, an organization that we're both members of and facilitators in, edgewalkers.org. And a huge proponent, part of that organization is faith. In fact, the founder, Judy Neal, what led her to even discovering Edgewalkers was spirituality in the workplace and how people bring meaning and purpose into the work that they do. So you and I, Sal, very much share that understanding that no matter what your spiritual base is, be it religious or even secular, a belief in energy, that greater than yourself, unity consciousness really serves all that we do in our lives, in our work lives, because it's all one. It's inseparable. I love that. Just just love it. Okay, so talk to me about I loved asking Laura about this. She laughed. Talk to me about how is it to have to start, as I mentioned with her, my parents owned a company together and they were very successful and they really complemented each other. And but I always thought it was strange, even when I was a young person, I thought it was kind of a strange thing that my parents actually worked together as well. And the older I got, the more I realized what a unique situation that is. And my hat is off to the two of you for creating such an incredible business, watching it skyrocket and watching the two of you work so complementary together. Talk to me about how that is from your point of view.
Yeah, it's different, definitely. Okay, and it has its pluses. It also has certain potential shortfalls, right? But I think, in my opinion, there are more pluses than shortfalls if you can make it work. Now, Laura and I are very similar. We are both very driven individuals, and our but we are also different in our ability to take risks and look at the bigger picture. And because of our upbringing and because of our experiences, I'm more flexible, I'm more adaptable, she's more structured with her Navy background. So I think we bring different perspectives and different frames of lenses to view the situation from. And that's an important part because we can bounce ideas off. And I always ask her, what do you think? And she's thinking, what are you smoking? What are you thinking? This is complete nonsense. We're not going to do that. And then I say, okay, well, tell me more. Tell me why, right? I'm open to it. I'm not always, I don't always have all the answers, but, and I'm open to it, but you have to give me the logical reason.
Mm,
Okay. And she asks me the same thing. So we kind of bring out the best of the outcome. I read a quote somewhere which said, and it's very true, and we always live there. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with a team. And I'm very fortunate that she's part of my team.
mm. Love that. Well, and quite frankly, everything you just talked about really shows up on the MaximizeU website. The understanding of, you're flexible, she's a little more structured. You need both flexibility, innovation, along with a good framework and a foundation and structure. The two work very well together, or can work. And the learning styles, that's the assertion of the learning styles that MaximizeU offers, and the different ways that you can complement your work environment is such a key offering to me, on
Now,
MaximizeU.life.
I do want to mention one area that is we have to be careful about, and that is whenever we meet, we w- we need to keep the business separate, and we
Yes.
need to not talk about the business, because sometimes that's our whole thing, right?
Yeah,
It's the
it can really
business, it's
suck
the
you in.
kids, yeah, it's the family. We need to separate all that out, and we need to be intentional, and we need to be focused on just the two of us, and have a date night where we don't talk about the business, we don't talk about the kids, we just talk about how she's doing, how I'm doing, what can we do to continue to grow together and
Hmm.
just have fun. It's important to have fun. Life is stressful, you know it, Sandra, right?
Oof, it
We're
is
always
important.
running from pillar to post, and sometimes, you know what? You just have to put it all away. No phones, nothing, just you and me, and that's it.
It's great. It's so true. So, what has been a surprising edge for you to navigate in the creation of Maximize You?
That's a great question. And I think it is how fast we are growing. That is, sometimes it's the flywheel, right? You're going, you're going, you're going, and boom, now it's taking off. And now it's going really fast. So whether you wanted it to go that fast or not, it's happening. So
Yeah.
guess what? Get on the bus. It's
D
moving,
Dive
right?
in.
Exactly.
Wow. So, how has that affected how you're perceiving how you want to do things with the company?
Yeah, it's causing us to very quickly recognize that we need the right team in place to propel this engine. And it's
Yeah.
not just me and Laura, it's now you and Madhav and all the rest of the folks and Lawrence and Travis. And that I think is a good thing because it helps continue the momentum that we need. But we have to be careful. We have to bring the right people on the bus and make sure the wrong people are off the bus. But the nice thing is we're handpicking every single person. So hopefully there are no wrong people.
Yes. Well, and I think you have really articulated beautifully, at least to me, and I rest assured to the rest of the people that okay, things are really speeding up, and if you want to be on this bus, embrace it, dive in. You might love all the elements, but now speed is another element that you've got to get on board with. So, and
Yeah, and I do recognize that because of that, we will not always get everything right. So the people we're bringing on have to be okay with a little bit of change of direction because that's part of the growth model,
yeah,
right? And not everybody is, but hopefully that's why, we attract the right kind of folks.
yeah. Well, you have. And, nobody needs to be perfect. People just need to make the right next step in
Yeah,
this process.
you either win or you learn. You don't fail. Okay, that's my
Bingo.
motto, right?
Bingo. So you just brought up change. What is your personal relationship with change? Not just with Maximize You, but overall.
It is the only constant in life.
Hmm.
Change is the only constant in life, and I embrace it with open arms and I run towards it.
So you like it. It turns you on. Everything
Absolutely.
I've witnessed, I'm the same.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
everyone, you can know that it's a constant in life and
Yes.
still resist it.
Yes. I enjoy it. I love it. It gives me energy. It fuels my passion and I thrive on it.
Yeah.
To some people it's too
To a
much,
fault.
but yeah.
Yes.
But we all know we know the other side of it. We know of organizations that are stuck and stagnant and not growing and not developing because
Mm.
the person who's at the top doesn't want to give up control, yet they don't want to they want to get help, but they don't want to give up control, and it's this they are mired in this inertia. We don't have any inertia because we keep moving. We keep moving.
This is true. Oh my, do you? As I mentioned to Laura, I said, I just watching you guys in Bangalore, keep moving, keep moving. We dashed and turned on dimes and embraced every opportunity, and it was glorious. All right. Well, my last question is what do you want our listeners to know about Maximize You that you really want to highlight and your how it relates to your role within the company?
Yeah, great question, and I'm glad you asked that. I want people to recognize that maximize you is not just something at the fringes. It's not just a nice to have. It is impacting core business processes in organizations, processes that are impactful to the company, like hiring people or supply chain management or creating content to train your employees. We are making a difference by transforming how traditionally these work processes have been conducted by organizations, and we are leveraging technology and AI to automate, make these more efficient, save time, save cost, and hopefully do a better job than they were being done before. So it is fundamentally impacting organizations in massive ways and individuals as well. I think sometimes people miss that aspect of the technology impacting business.
Fantastic answer. Yes. I would agree. Well, Sal Celly,
And that's really my background. That is my background. That is what I have done for the last 30 years. I have solved business problems through technology solutions, right? And that's what we're bringing to Maximize You. And of course, the individual. At the end of the day, what is an organization made of? It is made up of people and systems and processes. Maximize You is impacting each of those three pillars of an organization.
boom. That's fantastic. There's our quote. That was wonderful.
It's
And
the
yes, and
coffee.
I
It's
get
the
it.
coffee,
I'm
Sandra.
I'm telling you. Bam, that was it. Um, well, Sal, thanks for joining me. Thank you for sharing a bit of your journey, a bit
Of
of
course.
what your vision for Maximize You. And hang on here, I've got some pitches to make.
Yes.
We'll be continuing with our series highlighting the fantastic members of Team Maximize You. So stay tuned for all of those videos. Make sure to subscribe to our Maximize You YouTube channel and check out the Edge of Everyday podcasts streaming on your favorite podcast platforms and right here at maximizeu.life. Also, be sure to check out our latest training packages, the Get Better yearly subscription package for just $149 a year. That's less than a cup of coffee per week. You get trainings delivered every single week right in your inbox. There's a package for leadership and team management, sales and negotiation, leading a balanced life, understanding AI, and mine, communication, presence, and impact. Check them all out at MaximizeU.life. Join us on this transformative journey and discover the power of maximizing your potential with MaximizeU. Sal Celly, thank you again.
Thank
Such a
you,
pleasure
Sandra.
speaking with you. And to our listeners, thank you for spending some time with us. Until we meet again, take good care.
Absolutely. Thank you.